Okay, so let's take a look at the second question. It says, complete the table below to show the cost of a wedding based on the number of guests. Now they've provided a table with the number of guests, the values on the left-hand side. So the values on the left-hand side will always represent our x. The number of guests we have established is the independent variable, and that is always our x. So our x is always on the left-hand side. So now they want us to determine, based on these values, what the y is going to be. So in order to find that, we will use this equation. Okay, c is equal to 100g plus 50. So we're going to substitute. What we're going to do is substitute. So when g is 0, we're going to find out what the cost is based on the equation provided. Okay, so let's look. When g is 0, I'm going to substitute. C is equal to 100 multiplied by 0, 100 times 0, based on that equation, plus 50. So it's going to be 0 plus 50, and I get 50. So I'm going to write down 50 over here. Okay. When g is equal to 5, when the number of guests is 5, then let's see, we'll substitute into the equation. So we have, when g is 5, c is equal to 100 times 5, based on that equation, plus 50. So 100 times 5 is 500 plus 50. You guys take this down, please. And it's going to be 550. So I include that number over there. When the number of guests is 10, we will substitute into the equation again. So let's see what it's going to be. When g is 10, c is equal to 100 times 10 plus 50. And so we get 1,000, 3 zeros plus 50. And 1,000 plus 50 is going to give me 1,050. So we're going to include that value in this table. Okay, can you solve it when g is 15? Teachers give the students about 1 minute to solve this, and then we'll resume after 1 minute. So pause the video here and give the students about 1 minute to solve it. Okay, let's see what you did. When g is 15, I'm going to substitute 15 into the equation. So I have c is equal to 100 times 15 plus 50. That's 1,500 plus 50, and which is 1,550. So I'm going to include that information in this table. And when g is 20, when g is 20, I'm going to substitute that information. So I have 100 times 20 plus 50. And it's going to be 2,000 plus 50, which will give me 2,050. All of these values I got from here. I'm using this equation based on the x, the number of guests.